This subject on Bigfoot is going to get pretty hairy. So let's get into it. Imagine walking through a dense forest. Then out of nowhere, you hear a distant call of an unknown animal. You hear a twig snap behind you. As you spin around, you come face to face with a creature that looks almost human, but not quite. Looking up at his dark eyes, you feel anxiety and fear as it shudders down your spine. But as quickly as the encounter begins, the beast turns its back on you and vanishes into the dense undergrowth of the forest, leaving you wondering, did you really see what you think you saw? For generations, tales like this have been told of massive, elusive creatures that roam the secluded woods. The Bigfoot in North America, the Yeti in the Himalayas, and similar beings across the globe have captured the human imagination. But what if these aren't just stories? What if there's something more? Something that we...
Wait, what stories? Wait, did you start without me?
You're more than 2 hours late, dude. What else was I supposed to do?
Well, for one, not be an idiot. You know I'm the star of this show, right?
More like a brown dwarf.
Shh, better than a gas giant like you.
I told you about my IBS in confidence.
Sinister. Well, now everyone knows you're a poopy gas bag on set.
Yeah, they know thanks to you. So now that you're here, are you ready to go?
Well, I'm always camera ready. I don't need pounds of makeup like you, dude. By the way, is that where the budget's going? To employ the Kevin Cater glam squad? I mean, I barely have enough for necessities over here, like poison and ammunition, and you're dolled up like you're about to hit the town.
First and foremost, I do it myself, so...
Seriously, you look like a geisha, just without the charm.
Well, unlike the tiny feet of a geisha, we're talking about Bigfoot, so may I please continue?
Oh, we're following the thread on the elusive Sasquatch.
Yes, we are, thank you.
Nice. I've been wanting to work on this one ever since my visit to Humboldt County. You know what? They have the best brownies in the entire world out there.
I'm sure they do. Humboldt County is also the Bigfoot capital of the world.
Ah, you're talking about Willow Creek, the small town with the big story.
Yes, the big story is about Bigfoot.
Hey, I need to interrupt there. The term Bigfoot is body shaming, and the proper term is Sasquatch. It comes from the Hockalomellum, a northern Pacific tribe, from their word Saskits, which means wild man or hairy man. The Hockalomellum people, along with other groups that first settled in the Pacific Northwest, have legends and stories about these creatures that we call Sasquatch today. Just an FYI for you.
As always, thank you, Evil Fred, for your valuable but unsolicited insights.
Hey, it's what I do. I recognize a vacuum painted in cliches and ignorance, and I fill it with the sweet nectar of context and tangible facts.
So, returning back to Willow Creek. This little town is the mecca of the Bigfoot Sasquatch, as there has been many sightings, such as this famous one. On October 20th, 1967, two campers, Roger Peterson and Bob Gimlin, filmed 60 seconds of this shocking video near Willow Creek. The video they captured has never been debunked and is the most famous evidence of Sasquatch. Although a guy named Bob told National Geographic he was the guy in the suit, but believers say he is lying as there's no proof, and point out there are many people who claim this looking for fame. Again, to this day, there is no evidence that this is a fake video, and academics are still arguing about it today.
I'm Bob Gimlin. I was backing Roger Patterson up all the time. While he had the camera up, working with it, I was right in back of him. Is there a question whether you could have been fooled? I said, no way. Think whatever you want to think. I know what I saw, and if you've seen the film footage, analyze it and think about it. I'm not out here to prove to anybody that they exist at all. I said, I know they exist.
Needless to say, this video by Patterson and Gimlin put Willow Creek on the map.
You know, that sighting wasn't the first time the Sasquatch made headlines in Willow Creek.
No?
No, actually in 1958, Jerry Crew discovered human-looking footprints measuring up to 16 inches around his construction site. Jerry made these plaster molds of the prints and showed them to the Humboldt Times. These molds are actually still on display in the China Flat Museum in Willow Creek. Oh, and they're the ones who coined the shameful name Bigfoot.
Yeah. Well, to this day, sightings of Bigfoot,
Hey.
sightings of Sasquatch are
Better.
still making headlines. And in fact, it appeared in the news just recently.
Oh, you're referencing the shocking video filmed by Shannon and Stetson Parker in Colorado, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, they were on a train looking for elk when they saw this.
It's an elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down. Yeah, let me see your camera, I'll do it.
Man, those two sure are lucky.
Because they got such good footage?
No, because they lived. In my reality, trains are literally the #1 cause of death.
How does that work?
Well, we only use a single track to save money, much like your monorails, and we don't have any safety regulations. You know the blockbuster movie Snowpiercer?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm aware of it.
Well, here in my universe, it was only a 30-second short, not a convoluted 2-hour and 6-minute exercise in futility.
Wow. So it's not all evil and bad there. It's
We
pretty
have
good.
our positives. But anyways, going back to Sasquatch, did you know that even the FBI has a file on this creature?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, back in 1976, director Peter Byrne of the Bigfoot Information Center and Exhibition in the Dalles, Oregon, sent the FBI about 15 hairs attached to a tiny piece of skin, believing it was from the elusive Sasquatch. He hoped the FBI would shine some light on the subject for him. Unfortunately, the hair came back as just deer hair. All DNA and hair samples actually linked to Sasquatch have always come back negative. In 2014, Brian Sykes of Oxford University DNA sequenced 30 hair samples and found they were all normal animals found in nature.
However, the show Expedition Bigfoot says they actually did find some DNA linked to the Sasquatch.
They should just call it Expedition Sasquatch. But that was just a reality TV show. And we all know how fake reality TV is. And just ask Kanye West.
Okay, there's no denying that. But on the show, Mariskava from the University of California said this DNA was genuine. However, these findings still have not passed any peer reviews.
I have no peers.
No, you don't. Well, it is interesting that there hasn't been any other hard evidence besides cheesy plaster footprints and blurry footage.
Unless they're hiding it.
Hiding it.
Yeah, if the Sasquatch were discovered, it would throw the creation narrative out the window. And for many people, that's something very hazardous.
I don't think that's what's going on.
Sure thing, sheep. So anyways, what gets me into the mythos of this creature is not only centralized in the American Northwest, but also all over the world, such as the Yeti in the Himalayas, the Yowie in Australia, the Almas in Mongolia, the Orange Pendek in Indonesia. And that's only a few that are found around the world.
You know, Evil Fred, it's kind of funny to think that the popular perspective of the Sasquatch is that of a sinister, cryptic creature like yourself. When in the native legends, they are seen as guardians, something to be respected and not feared.
Well, you know, people always fear the unknown.
That is true, and there's so much we don't understand. But if all of these cultures have stories of these giants, considering all the present-day sightings, there has to be something there. Even my brother believes he saw a footprint in Susanville, where I grew up.
Ooh, I think it's time for the million-dollar question.
Why I lived in Susanville. So,
Nobody cares why you live in Susanville. What I'm talking about is what a Sasquatch is. As you said, if there's something there, then what is there? Like, what are they?
oh yeah, I mean, some suggest it's the giant,
Gigantolopithecus?
yes, that one. So this giant ape that lived in China more than 300,000 years ago, it was about 9 to 10 feet tall and weighed up to 661 pounds.
Yeah, that would definitely fit the description of a Sasquatch.
Yeah, but I don't think it is. Because for that to be the case, it would have to come to North America, 300,000 years ago. Plus, on top of that, it has to be more intelligent, which I don't think it would be, considering it was a normal primate.
Well, I heard a theory once that they are like me from another reality and only stop by occasionally because they're actually often linked to UFO sighting locations.
Yes, but no.
Just not having fun today. How about bears then, walking upright? I mean, they sometimes see them like that. They kind of look like people.
That's a good point, but that wouldn't explain the sightings we see in like Australia with the Yowie, where bears don't live.
Okay, so what are they then, Poindexter?
I think they're a long lost hominin.
You think Sasquatch was humming? Like a song? What the hell are you talking about?
No, a hominin. It's a branch of evolutionary ladder of humans, such as the Neanderthals and Homo erectus.
Oh, a hominin. So you think they're related to us?
Yes, I do. I mean, we cannot dismiss outright that the vast wilderness of our planet is still largely unexplored, and the idea that a small population of hominins could have survived isn't far-fetched, as it might seem.
I mean, it's possible. There are many examples of other hominins overlapping with Homo sapiens,
Exactly.
such as the Homo erectus, which, interestingly enough, is considered one of the most successful humans, as they seem to thrive for about 1.9 million years before their extinction.
You know, I hope our species lasts that long. We've been around, what, a short time of 300,000 years? And looking at the tabloids, we are on borrowed time.
Okay, Doomsayer. So anyway, there's also been Homo neanderthalis, which is believed to have gone extinct about 40,000 years ago, and the Denisovans, who inhabited Asia and are believed to have lived up until about 15,000 years ago. So overlapping hominins really isn't anything out of the ordinary.
You know, even Fred, I once heard a story that Alexander the Great came across a tribe, a primitive-looking people. They physically looked different than the humans in the area. So perhaps these hominins lived much longer than we actually expected.
Well, in a way, the majority of the older hominins are actually still here today, or at least their DNA is. For example, Neanderthal DNA makes up approximately 1 to 4% of the DNA in non-African populations. In Southeast Asia, about 4 to 6% of Denisovan DNA can be found in their population. So in short, Kevin, all this might explain that hairy back of yours.
Yeah, you're funny. So anyways, these past humans were more human than what we previously believed. And much like the past hominins, Sasquatch is not your standard run-of-the-mill primate. They are more connected to us than we give them credit for.
You know, I don't want to take your spotlight of your connection, but the concept of that Sasquatch and Yeti are hominins and other types of hominids is really nothing new. There was a book Ivan T. Sanderson wrote back in 1961, Legend Come to Life, where he explored this exact idea.
Yeah, I mean, see, this idea holds water. But one thing is for sure, a Sasquatch would have to be brilliant. First, to survive in the deep wilderness with limited resources, and second, to evade overall detection from our growing civilization.
Yeah, there are 8.1 billion of us now on all corners of the map. Plus, our technology and surveillance are increasing, so soon there'll be no hiding places for these giants. Much like Kanye West's attempt to avoid media scrutiny.
Was that a second Kanye West joke?
Yeah, it was. I'm a little behind and had to meet my quota, so I figured I'd tuck it in there.
Well, give me a warning next time. So hiding is indeed getting more complex, but I still think they have many places to hide. For example, my neighbor's backyard is so cluttered, even an elephant can go unnoticed.
Wait, isn't your mother your neighbor?
No. I live in my mother's basement. But the point is, Earth is big, the forests are thick, and there'll be plenty of places to hide for a long, long time. I mean, for instance, Survivor Man had this to say.
Well, for 25 years, I've trained in survival, taught survival, practiced survival, and of course, filmed survival. Essentially, that means that out here, I've had to exist pretty much in the same manner as a legendary creature we've nicknamed Bigfoot. Find food, water, build shelters, stay hidden. I know the print that I saw in the sphagnum moss was far too big for a human to make. It was definitely not an ungulate. It was not a bear, actually. The only shape that it had was the shape of a large human-like foot. You know, it had the shape of a Bigfoot.
If Bigfoot...
Hey.
Sorry. If Sasquatch is a hominin, then they may have the intelligence to avoid detection for decades to come.
Sinister.
You know, even Fred, all this talk about the hominins got me thinking. If at one point Earth had many different types of human species living simultaneously on this planet together, such as Neanderthals and the Homo erectus, do you think Earth would ever see a large population of competing humans again?
That's a good question. The human race was on track to do so if it had another 300,000 years or so, not interrupted by technology, making the world smaller and thus the gene pool bigger. There's a human population, for example, in Southeast Asia called the Bajau, and they can hold their breath for up to 13 minutes without a problem. This is because their spleen is actually 50% bigger. The spleen's like an oxygen reservoir. It stores oxygen-rich red blood cells and releases them into the bloodstream when they dive underwater. Given enough time and isolation, these people would have formed a new hominin, an aquatic variant of humans, if you will, in my opinion.
Oh, yes. I mean, I get that. It's kind of like the Metcaina in Avatar 2. I mean, I bet that's a Laserdisc set you're looking forward to.
No.
Well, but when humans colonize the other star systems, you may see a new variant of humans. If humans lived on Mars in isolation for 300,000 years, the divergence between the Martian and the Earthling would be significant. For instance, the Martians may be taller and thinner due to the low gravity of Mars. Their skin may be thicker with more pigmentation due to the extra UV radiation from the thinner atmosphere. And they also may get bigger eyes due to the sun being further away. And in time, they would become a completely different species. Considering the many potential worlds in our galaxy that we could colonize, one day there may be hundreds of human species.
Ooh, and when that happens, perhaps the humans of Earth will become the cryptic creatures of mystery, much like the Sasquatch are today.
Well, that's a dark twist.
Damn right it is. I'm sinister, baby.
Oh, yes, you are, Evil Fred. So that's all the time we have. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We would also like to thank our Patreons, Super Dave, Roebuck, and Razorback. Without your generous donations, this show would not be possible.
I'd also like to remind you, if you have a suggestion for a thread you'd like us to follow, please let us know in the comments section of our Discord, or shoot us an email at the address listed on screen. I'm Evil Fred.
And I'm Kevin Cater, reminding you to follow the red thread and see where it takes you.
Well, hopefully it takes you to the groomer to get those back hairs of yours trimmed. Like a human Sasquatch. Sinister.
I honestly don't know why I put up with you.
Oh, you love it.